New moon blessings, y'all. So I hope that this day has been pleasant for you, has been flowing and of ease in some way, or showing you how to connect with a sense of ease and moving things out of the way for you. Now, I know you're probably thinking, the screen is black, it's something wrong with the video, but it's all good. I'm just starting off with a voice note, and a short video will follow after this. So be sure that you stay tuned if you want to see what that's about. But I do want to touch on a few things before we move on. So, as we've ushered into this Taurus season, I really found myself like focusing on things practically, but not wanting to share anything materially. Once I get things, everything really just comes together, then I'm going to share it. I decided I don't want to be sharing things piece by piece in that way, just getting very clear on direction, right? Mercury's going into went direct, so the direction is clear. But we know that Taurus is said to rule the material world and all its possessions. But its ruler, Venus, gives it the expression of spirit ruling over matter. That and Libra. But we're talking about Taurus today. Okay, so mythologically speaking, it's written that she's the daughter of Uranus. At least this is one myth. That she's the daughter of Uranus and the waters of the earth. So there was a moment in time where Kronos, which we consider as Saturn astrologically, wished to overthrow his father. And in that, he chopped off his manhood and threw it into the sea off the island of Cyprus. And this birthed Aphrodite, who is Venus. I made a post about Venus when Venus was in Scorpio. I don't know if this was a year ago or 2 years ago, but I'm going to share it in my stories. You can watch it if you like. But with all this occurring in this way, it really gives a very immaculate conception type of expression, So Venus brings a very effervescent spiritual essence to the energy that is Taurus, which is all very fitting to gate 2 in human design in the I Ching, which is where the moon is transiting at this time. Okay, so gate 2 is a feminine gate. It speaks of being receptive. It's in the G center, which is about the identity. Okay, and it's basically to know that life is always abundant. It's always giving. And ask, can you be allowing? Can you allow what it is for you to reflect back to you, right? Can you allow things to speak for itself, in a sense, whether that's you, what you're creating, because it follows after the gate of creation. I'm not going to get into the technicalities, but it is the return of what you have created, right? So also, if your birthday is today, tomorrow, or in the past 4 days, happy solar return, because your sun falls in this gate at different expressions, of course, based on the degree. But that is a different conversation for another time. Okay, so this particular energy, this particular position, degree and expression, placement, it's all very self-oriented, right? It's encouraging you to just allow, right? Allow who you are, what you do, what you share. Let it speak for itself. It reminds me that there's no need to convince the outside of who or how you identify, because what comes from within will always be a natural expression of itself, and it will be recognized, and in that, because it's what do you contain, and in that container, what is exuding, what's emanating. And so this energy also reminds me of containers, the body, the womb. So let's get into jars. Okay, y'all, this is gonna be a quick video, but we're talking about jars, right? So this is a jar that I created last summer. This is actually a healing jar that I did for my family. I put all of us the entire family in this jar. All right, so I made a collective petition and I wrote it. And then afterwards, I created this jar. There is another jar back here. This is a honey jar too. I made it all around the same time because I was doing like a series of different works at that time. But this jar in particular, right? So jars, like I said in the voice note, containers, they contain energy, right? You can contain yourself in one particular space, contain something in one particular space, right? Make something happen for within a jar. Bring something in or take something away, right? In this jar in particular, it was a healing jar. So you know, jars aren't always, you know, you putting somebody in a jar. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel where I talked about me and a friend of mine, how we had created some vinegar jars and put ourselves in them, Lord. But that's on there. You can go check that out if you want to see. I'm gonna post this on YouTube too, so I'll put a link to that if you want to watch that. But sorry I'm moving so much, trying to get comfortable. So yeah, this jar. What I did was I put some sea salt in here. Was it only sea salt? I think it was. And I put like seven herbs. Was it 7? Maybe it was 9. I don't have my tablet that I wrote down everything in readily available to share everything I put in here. But the herbs were about, you know, focused on healing, focused on cleansing, you know, and as well as my petition, bringing healing into our lives in all areas and everything like that. But recently, I don't know if it was last night or I don't know. It was within the past week. What is today? What's today? I really don't know what today is. Anyways, whatever today is, it's been in the past week, y'all. I know today is the 7th. That's it. I think I don't know. Anyways, I'll check when I get through with this video, and I'm putting the comments or in caption, it's whatever day, y'all. So with this jar, what did I do? So I cleansed. First I cleansed the jar. I washed the jar. I soaked it in some Florida water. I put some sage on the inside, cleansed it out. I think I may have even lit some cinnamon for its healing and put that smoke in there. And as the smoke was still in there, I layered it with the herbs. So first with the herbs, I left the herbs out for an odd number of days. 3, could have been 5, out of the fact that I was trying to bring change. Okay, and I prayed over them for those amount of days. And after I did that, I put this jar together because I started this when I because this was one of the first works that I did in the series of workings that I did. Okay, so I did this, and I put the salt in here. Then I added the herbs. But first, before I added the herbs, what I did, I put them all together. I put them in a mortar and pestle. I kind of grinded them up, not really, because you can see they're still pretty whole in here. There is cinnamon, dandelion. I think there's some burdock root in there. Some fennel is in there. That's all I can remember at this time, but I know it's more than that. And then I read the petition out loud. I burned it in the herbs and I mixed it together. And then I put it in a jar. And after I did that, I closed it up. I prayed over this. And then I lit a candle, a dressed candle with the same herbs that I had left over here, and burned the candle on top. So now let's come back to this present moment. With this, when it comes to jars, when it comes to containers, it contains an energy, right? It holds it in space. It keeps you in a place. And now I'm at this point where the place that we were at when this was being made, we are no longer in that place. It did what it needed to do. It gave what it needed to give. but or gave what it needs to give. What am I saying? But with that, that means that it's this has done its job, and we no longer need to contain ourselves or these aspect of ourselves that we were asking for assistance in healing with and bringing health in. That has come, right? But at the same time, when you do work, it meets you where you are, right? And then it transpires, it grows, it heals, it brings you either the work it is that you need to do in order to attain what it is that you are asking for, right? Or it just brings it to you. It just really depends on where you are at the moment. But you do also, you outgrow a thing, right? We have outgrown what it is that we were asking for here. And in that, I will be dissolving this energy, not from my life, but dissolving the essence that was, that required this. It's about to be a year that this has come, and with that, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to free oneself of residue. It does not need to linger any longer. Okay, so when it comes to jars, know that they can bring great change, right? That they can assist in beautiful and benevolent ways. We a lot of times when it comes to the internet, we hear about making jars, and it's something that's not necessarily positive. When in reality, what can be used for one thing can also be used for another, for the opposite. Okay, so yeah, y'all, just want to share that. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you are in need of any support at this time, definitely check out my website to get a reading, okay, get some spiritual support. What else do I have on there? Oh yes, and I have my mentorship on there as well. My website also updated its payment availability, so now I can take payments and pay for 4. So go ahead and do that if you need that. All right, so I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.